Have you ever felt as though you're in a season of waiting, where doors seem to close and opportunities that once felt right seem to vanish into thin air? Maybe you've questioned, why am I being hidden? Why does it feel like everything is on hold? It's a tough place to be in, but what if I told you that this period of being hidden is actually one of the most significant times of your life? We often think of God's presence as a guide that always leads us into action and visibility. But there are times in our spiritual journey when God intentionally hides us. There's a divine purpose behind this temporary retreat from the world, and it's one that can dramatically shape our future. 1. Preparation for something greater. Sometimes when God hides us, it's because He's preparing us for something greater than we could ever imagine. Think of it as a period of personal development, when He's working behind the scenes to shape your character, skills, and abilities for what is to come. You may not see it now, but this time of being hidden is like being in a cocoon, preparing for your transformation into a beautiful butterfly. There are moments in life where we're not yet ready for the blessings that are waiting for us. We may have the desires, the dreams, but not the maturity, resilience, or wisdom to handle them. During this time, God is strengthening you, molding you, and preparing your heart for what's ahead. When the moment arrives and you're finally ready to step into your destiny, you'll do so with a deeper understanding of who you are, what you're capable of, and what you truly need. In Scripture, we see many examples of God hiding His chosen people for a time of preparation. Take David, for example. Before he became king, he spent years in hiding, fleeing from Saul. During this time, he was learning humility, patience, and trust in God. The lessons he learned in those hidden years were what equipped him to lead Israel with wisdom and courage. Your hidden season is no different. Trust that the time you're spending out of the public eye is for your development. 2. God is protecting you from unseen dangers. Another reason God may be hiding you right now is that He's protecting you from unseen dangers. Sometimes we think we know what we need, and we push forward, trying to make things happen on our own. However, God, in His infinite wisdom, knows what lies ahead. The people who might hurt us, the situations that would pull us away from our purpose, or even the opportunities that would lead us down a path of destruction. This period of hiding is God's shield over you. He's keeping you safe from things you can't yet see. Remember that God sees beyond time, and while you may be frustrated with the waiting, there's a spiritual safety in the stillness. Like a parent who shields a child from harm, God is ensuring that you are protected during a time when you might be too vulnerable to face certain challenges. It's easy to look at a closed door and think that it's a sign of rejection or failure. But sometimes, it's God's way of saying, "Not yet, my child. I'm protecting you from things you can't understand right now." 3. God is teaching you to trust His timing. One of the most powerful lessons in the spiritual walk is learning to trust God's timing. We live in a world that operates on deadlines, schedules, and quick results. We want things now, and we often think that we know when the right time is. But God sees the bigger picture, and His timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't make sense to us. When God hides you, He's teaching you to lean on His timing and not your own. He's teaching you to let go of control and trust that He knows when it's the right time for you to step into the next chapter of your life. It's during these hidden seasons that you learn to surrender your plans and desires to His will. The waiting season isn't a punishment. It's a chance to align your heart with God's divine purpose. Remember the story of Joseph. His journey to leadership in Egypt was long and filled with hardship. Yet, the time of waiting, hidden from the world's view, was all part of God's plan to elevate him at the perfect moment. Trust that in your waiting, God is orchestrating everything for your good. 4. Refining your relationship with God. A hidden season isn't just about preparing for something on the outside. It's also about refining your inner relationship with God. When we're in the spotlight, it's easy to become distracted, to focus on achievements, praise, and recognition. But in the hidden place, it's just you and God. It's an opportunity to develop a deeper, more intimate relationship with your Creator, without the noise of the world interfering. Think about the times in your life when you were closest to God. Often, those were the times when everything else seemed quiet or uncertain. The hidden times are when God works in the quietest moments, when we're still enough to hear His voice clearly. He wants to teach you how to rely on Him and build a foundation that doesn't crumble under pressure. When you're hidden, you can focus on growing in faith, prayer, and spiritual maturity. 5. Guarding you from the pressure of the world. In a world that constantly demands more, it can be overwhelming to step into the spotlight. People may not understand the weight of the responsibility, the pressure of public expectations, or the burden of success. Sometimes God hides you to shield you from the pressure of external forces that may try to define you before you're ready. This time of being hidden is a form of spiritual protection. It's God giving you space to breathe, to be who you truly are, without the constraints and expectations of the world. It's in this space where you find freedom, and it's in this space where you can fully discover your true calling. When the time is right, God will open the doors, and you'll be ready to handle the pressures that come with your purpose. 6. Cultivating humility and patience. Being hidden helps cultivate humility and patience. In a culture obsessed with success, instant gratification, and visibility, it's easy to get lost in the pursuit of recognition. However, God uses times of being hidden to remind us that we are not in control. He teaches us that it's not about us, but about His plan for us. Humility is key in receiving what God has in store for you. When you're hidden, there's no room for pride, ego, or self-glorification. This is the time for God to shape you into the person who can carry the weight of His blessings without losing sight of the true source of your success. Patience is another virtue that God fosters in us during the hidden season. We live in a fast-paced world, but God is teaching us to wait on His perfect timing. The lessons in patience will prepare you to handle the future with wisdom, grace, and stability. 7. You are being positioned for favor. Lastly, God's hiding you is a form of positioning. He's strategically placing you where you need to be. Even though it may feel like you're in a stagnant season, God is positioning you for favor and opportunity. He's setting you up for a moment that will take you from obscurity to prominence, from waiting to action. Just like the story of Esther, who was hidden away before becoming queen, your moment is coming. You're being positioned, not for any random reason, but because God has great things in store for you. The waiting period is part of the process of getting you into the place where you can experience divine favor, success, and influence. 8. Spiritual growth through isolation. When God hides you, it often feels like isolation. But this period of being alone is actually a fertile ground for deep spiritual growth. It's during times of isolation that you begin to realize that your true source of strength doesn't come from external validation or the approval of others. It comes from within, from your connection to God. Being isolated doesn't mean you are forsaken. It means you are being set apart for a higher purpose. Just as Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness, learning to rely solely on God, you too are in a season where you are being taught to lean not on your own understanding but on the wisdom and power of God. Isolation refines you, removes distractions, and clears the way for a deeper spiritual connection. And this time is essential for you to deepen your knowledge of God's Word, His will for your life, and His love for you. It's easy to get distracted by the opinions of others, but in this hidden season, you have the chance to focus solely on God. You'll discover that in your solitude, you are never alone. He is always with you, guiding and nurturing your spirit. 9. God is aligning you with like-minded souls. One of the reasons God hides us is to allow us the time to align ourselves with the right people. As you grow and mature spiritually, your circle should also grow and evolve. God uses the hidden seasons to remove the wrong people from your life, those who may distract you or hinder your growth, and prepares the way for you to meet like-minded individuals who will uplift and support you. Sometimes the waiting period is not just for us to develop, but for us to be aligned with those who will help us fulfill our destiny. You might feel alone now, but when the time is right, God will introduce you to the people who will walk alongside you, collaborate with you, and share in your vision. Trust in God's process and timing. When He reveals the right people in your life, you will understand why the waiting period was necessary. They will be your support system, your partners in purpose, and the ones who will help bring your dreams to life. This is God's way of positioning you for divine partnerships that will take you to the next level. 10. Trusting God's sovereignty. During times of being hidden, it's easy to wonder if God has forgotten about you. You may feel that the world is moving on without you, and that your dreams are slipping further and further away. But the truth is, God has not forgotten you. In fact, He is actively involved in every detail of your life, and He is sovereign over all circumstances. God knows the plans He has for you, plans to prosper you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. He is not unaware of your desires or struggles. His hand is upon your life, even in the hidden seasons. What may seem like delay is actually divine timing in action. When you trust God's sovereignty, you can rest assured that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You may not understand the timing or the reasons behind your current circumstances, but trust that God is working things out for your good. He sees the beginning from the end, and He knows what's best for you. 11th, developing a heart of service. Sometimes when God hides you, He is teaching you the value of serving others. In this time of being hidden, He is molding your heart and spirit to serve selflessly. God desires for us to walk in humility, to think of others above ourselves, and to make the world a better place by sharing His love with others. Being hidden can be a time of preparation for service. You might feel as though you're in a holding pattern, but perhaps God is simply teaching you how to serve where you are. Whether it's in your community, your family, or even in your workplace, God is shaping you into a vessel that will serve His kingdom. He's allowing you to develop the humility, kindness, and generosity of spirit that will be necessary when He places you in a position of influence. As you serve in your hidden season, you will find that God is not only preparing you for future leadership, but He is also working within you to develop a heart that reflects His own. This heart of service will be crucial when you step into your calling because it will enable you to lead with love, grace, and empathy. 12. Trusting that God's timing is better than our own. One of the hardest things to accept when we are in a hidden season is that God's timing is often vastly different from our own. We are creatures of habit and desire immediate results. We want things to happen quickly, but God's timing doesn't always align with our desires. But here's the thing: God's timing is always perfect. His delays are not denials. They are simply His way of making sure that we are prepared for what He has for us. In the waiting, we learn patience. In the waiting, we learn trust. The Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 3:1 that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Trusting in God's timing means letting go of our plans and submitting to His will. You may not understand why things aren't moving as quickly as you want, but know that God is orchestrating everything for your good. 13. The power of faith in the hidden seasons. Faith is a crucial component of the hidden season. When you feel like you're in a waiting period, it's easy to doubt and question God. But this is where faith comes in. God calls us to trust Him, even when we don't understand the circumstances or the timing. Hebrews 11:1 defines faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith doesn't require us to have all the answers or to see everything clearly. Faith simply requires trust that God knows what He's doing, and that in due time, He will reveal His plan for us. As you wait, continue to build your faith. The more you trust God in the hidden seasons, the stronger your faith will become. And when the time comes for your breakthrough, you'll step into it with the confidence and strength that comes from knowing you've trusted God every step of the way. 14. The hidden season prepares you for your purpose. Sometimes the hidden season is God's way of preparing us for the purpose He has placed inside of us. He is teaching us the lessons we need to learn in order to walk confidently in our calling. While we may not be visible to the world right now, God is quietly working behind the scenes, shaping us for the greatness He has planned. Just like a seed that is planted deep in the soil, the hidden season is where your roots are growing. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree will be when it finally emerges. Your time of being hidden is a time of growth, deepening, and strengthening. When you finally step into the purpose God has called you to, you will do so with a deep sense of security, knowing that you've been prepared for such a time as this. God hides you not because He's forgotten about you, but because He is preparing you for something greater. Trust in His timing, know that He is protecting you, and embrace this time of solitude as a chance to grow, learn, and align with His purpose for your life. Just as a seed needs time to sprout before it can bear fruit, you too are in a season of preparation. Stay faithful, stay patient, and know that when the time comes, God will reveal you to the world in the most glorious way possible.